The story of the Salem witch trials, the strangest court case in American history. In the history of the United States, there have been many strange and dramatic events, but one of the darkest and most mysterious happened in the late 17th century in a small Puritan settlement in New England. This event became known as the Salem witch trials, a series of court trials during which dozens of people were accused of practicing witchcraft, and many of them were executed. The story began in 1692 in the small village of Salem Village, located near the town of Salem. At that time, life in colonial America was harsh and uncertain. Settlers lived in constant fear of disease, attacks from Native American tribes, food shortages, and brutal winters. In addition, Puritan society was extremely religious. People truly believed that the devil could interfere in human life and act through witches. The events started in a very unusual way. In the house of the local minister, Samuel Parris, two young girls, his daughter Betty and her cousin Abigail, began behaving strangely. They screamed, fell to the floor, twisted their bodies, hid under furniture, and complained about invisible forces that were supposedly hurting them. Doctors at the time could not find any medical explanation for what was happening. Eventually, one physician suggested that the girls might be under the influence of witchcraft. After that, the situation quickly spiraled out of control. The girls began accusing members of the village of casting spells on them. The first people accused were three women: Tituba, an enslaved woman owned by the minister's family; Sarah Good, a poor homeless woman; and Sarah Osborne, an elderly resident of the village. All three were brought before local magistrates for questioning. One of the most dramatic moments came when Tituba confessed. During her interrogation, she claimed that she had indeed practiced witchcraft and that other witches were living in Salem and serving the devil. She described black dogs, strange spirits, and said that the devil had forced her to sign his book with her blood. Her testimony terrified the community and fueled the growing panic. Soon, a wave of hysteria spread throughout the village. People began accusing one another. Almost anyone could fall under suspicion: farmers, servants, merchants, and even respected members of the community. In many cases, accusations began after ordinary disputes between neighbors. In the spring of 1692, a special court was created to hear the cases. The judges accepted what were known as spectral evidence. This meant that accusers could claim that the spirit or ghost of the accused person had appeared to them in visions or dreams and harmed them. Today, such evidence would be considered absurd, but at the time it was taken seriously in court. One of the most tragic cases was that of a farmer named Giles Corey. He was accused of witchcraft, but refused to plead guilty or innocent, and would not participate in the trial. According to the laws of the time, someone who refused to respond to the court could be subjected to a brutal punishment. Heavy stones were placed on his body to force him to speak. For 2 days the pressure increased, but he only repeated the words, "More weight." Eventually, he died under the crushing stones. In total, more than 200 people were accused during the trials. 20 of them were executed. 19 people were hanged, and one, Giles Corey, died during the torture. The victims included both men and women. Some were elderly, while others were quite young. Over time, many people in the colony began to question what was happening. Too many individuals were being accused without real evidence. Eventually, the colonial authorities stepped in. The governor of Massachusetts, William Phips, dissolved the special court and banned the use of spectral evidence. After that, most of the accused prisoners were released. In the years that followed, many participants in the trials admitted that a terrible mistake had been made. Some of the accusers publicly apologized. Later, the colonial government officially overturned the convictions and compensated the families of those who had been executed. Historians still debate the causes of this mass hysteria. Several theories exist. Some believe it was driven by extreme religious beliefs and the deep fear of the devil that existed in Puritan communities. Others think the accusations were influenced by personal conflicts, property disputes, and power struggles within the village. There are also more unusual theories. Some researchers have suggested that the strange behavior of the girls might have been caused by ergot poisoning, a fungus that can infect rye and cause hallucinations and seizures. However, this theory remains controversial.